Right, this has dried now. I don't think I got the picture quite in the right place. I'll put it there. But like I say, you will be able to find it on my Facebook page, Tina Martin, Fine Artist. We're going to put a background tone on, and I've mixed up some sap green and some sap green with yellow, cadmium yellow. I've got these stems here, and they provide a stop, so we can do one of those washes that goes round the picture. You can turn it if you want. I may turn it as I go. On the actual photo, this petal touches the edge. I felt that on mine the petal was a bit long, so I've just left a gap. So I'm going to start by the stem, and you start here up against where that stem will be and bring that round, and this is the sap green. I hope the angle of this is okay. Needs to be a sort of mid-tone, and we're going to move along sort of fairly dark over this edge. I might need a finer brush. Coming out and through. This can go darker later. This is just a first tone. Just make sure you make enough colour. If you run out, you're going to have to stretch it, and that's not so good. So all of this corner is fairly dark, so I'm going to put the sap green here, bring it across and catch up. So in each case, we move along about 1.5 inches, and then we catch up. Keep going back to your colour as you need to. That way, this can be drying behind you. This is fine. This was by a stem, and this is going to come round this corner. This is where I might run out of colour. So coming across, trying to keep this leading edge here as short as possible. So I'm coming across, and then there's coming up to an area where there's a leaf, so I'll use my other colour for that. And this is the sap green with cadmium yellow, and I'm going to start away from the leading edge of the green, just to give this colour a chance to kick. If you go straight against the sap green and pull, the sap green will just sort of cover most of that yellow colour. And then I'm just going to join the two together. Might need to just dip into the paint again. But that way, the sap green hasn't been pulled all the way through that paler tone. And we're paler here as well. So we'll come across here, being neat, and just moving on about 1.5 inches at each stage. A bit darker in this corner, so can go against that colour and pull. It doesn't matter if the yellowish colour pulls through the sap. And just being neat on your edges, making sure that at all times your brush is nice and wet. So don't stretch the paint too far, otherwise you'll get streak lines. And because of where we started, this can be drying behind us, so we've got darker area here. That's just coming with us. A little bit darker in this top corner, so coming along, I am going to run out of this tone. Coming round. And then because I've got quite a lot of this colour, I'm going to go into this tone now and filling across, just keeping my eye on all this edge and sort of catching up. So neat and catch up. So that edge is as short as possible, and I'm going to work mainly with this tone now on this side. This is the lit side, so just being neat round the flowers. And you could go onto a big brush for these broad areas. I haven't got far to go now, so I'll just keep going with this brush. So this is a size 6 round-ended brush. Taking that round, bringing it along, neatening up. This is just, again, a first coat. This is just establishing the background around the flower, and you'll begin to see the whites of the paper start to jump because we've got a nice background tone. And then it's going to the darker tone when it comes around here, so I'll use what I've got left of my sap into here, bringing it up to the other side of the stem. And because that was an island, we can stop at this point, and you're not affecting the beginning part of that wash. You can see my colours lightened up a bit as I've gone round. I'm just going to fill in this section, this individual island, just so I've used the same mix in here. Just checking you've got no excess anywhere. A little bit of excess here, so dab on tissue, tip of brush just runs along, dab, and check again, that's fine. A little bit of excess there, dab on the tissue, lift and off, and the rest can be left to dry. If you've left any gaps, if you made any mistakes, most important thing, don't go back, don't fiddle. Anything you do now to it will cause more problems than it helps. You'll create watermarks because this area is drying, so if you go in with a wet brush, you're going to drop wet water into drying paint, which is why you get watermarks. So leave it alone, don't fiddle, let it dry.